Exploring Montana adventures on and off the beaten path. Here's Road Trippin' with Laurel Staples. Sponsored by Clark Nissan and Clark Hyundai in Kalispell.
It serves as a major rest stop in Montana for up to hundreds of thousands of migrating waterfowl in the spring. And Road Trippin', joined by my husband Chris Line, we hit the road for Freezout Lake to bring you a closer look at this natural phenomenon.
Good morning. Let's go road tripping.
It's an early start in order to get to Freezout Lake before sunrise for the best viewing. With lodgings booked along the way, we leave Kalispell at 2 a.m., taking Highway 2. It's a snowy drive from Essex to East Glacier. Rough going on Mariah's Pass, but smooth sailing into Browning, where we turn south on Highway 89 for the final stretch to Choteau, and then to Freezout Lake, arriving in complete darkness. We meet up with wildlife technician Nancy Molesky and follow her to Pond 4, one of 9 bodies of water that make up the area. On the way, morning light gives us our first look at Freezout. At Pond 4, the first thing we notice is this.
So this morning we have a lot of geese out here talking, and we'll see when they decide to go. So they're here overnight to rest, and then they get up in the morning to go out to the barley and other grain fields to eat for breakfast. Sometimes a little early, sometimes right at, I call the blush, so sunrise with the pink onto the hills.
While we wait, more visitors show up, eager to witness the morning rise.
So we've come 17 years in a row, and we just love it so much. It's like a National Geographic quality spectacle, and it's just right here in Montana. It's totally lovely.
The beauty of it and the awe of it, it never leaves. So.
Then we watch as the horizon lights up in an explosion of color. Seconds later, this happens. The morning rise. Tens of thousands of snow geese take flight, headed for nearby grain fields for breakfast. We follow the birds along with others and watch as they land in this field to refuel for the next leg of their long journey.
Once they decide that this is the field they want to be, they'll just start walking along and feeding off the waste grain. And then you'll see kind of a leapfrogging effect where the folks in the back, they say, okay, it's all, it's used up. So they leapfrog to the front.
Molesky then takes a closer look and notices a trend.
I see today that they're not moving as fast. So they're walking and feeding, but it's nice and slow, meaning that they're getting more grain. So as things are thawing out a little bit.
On the way back, we stop at this vista point.
We can scope all along.
Not only does it offer a great view of the entire area, it's the perfect spot to do the daily count.
Because they're not generally going to fly in any direction other than east to go out to eat in the morning. And we only count once a day, so we count at the morning rise.
Next, it's time to watch for the geese to return from breakfast. For that, we drive through the wildlife management area, now bustling with more visitors, from bird watchers and nature lovers to photographers. While we watch and wait, we hear about the history of the area.
Back in the 1800s, this was a stagecoach stop, and they called it Freezout, and because it was so cold. And they misspelled it, Freezout, with no E. And the management has chosen to keep it that way out of historical respect.
Soon, the wait is over. We spot thousands of birds streaming back to the area, landing on this pond first. We drive closer for a better look. The birds take flight again, circling above, before landing and repeating this pattern several times due to an eagle hunting for prey. The geese have finally abandoned the pond and fly to another pond, first swirling above, and what some visitors call a goosenado before landing. A beautiful and unforgettable sight. If you want to watch this story again, or if you missed one of my previous stories, you can watch every Road Trippin' episode in a special segment on our website at nbcmontana.com.